Howdy, my loves. So now that it's after 1:30 in the morning, you see what I mean about having energy? I'm not even sure where it comes from, but yet we all know where it's coming from, and it's not from, crappy food, and it's not from drugs or anything. It's living a clean life, and God kind of makes you filled full of energy even when you need to go to sleep. I mean, here it is after 1:30 in the morning, and I'm wide awake. So excited for tomorrow. What's tomorrow? I don't even know, dude. But I'm excited for it. I think that's the outlook we should all have. Now, I wanted to read to you another verse in the Tao Te Ching, and this one is 9, the ninth verse. To keep on filling is not as good as stopping. Overfilled, the cupped hands drip. Better to stop pouring. Sharpen a blade too much, and its edge will soon be lost. Fill your house with jade and gold, and it brings insecurity. Puff yourself with honor and pride, and no one can save you from a fall. Retire when the work is done. This is the way of heaven. I want to say a lot of us out there, and this is, probably not, yet again, right? Probably not the proper way of looking at it, but I know there's a lot of you out there who are like my ex, and I love him to death. Um, he just works himself to death. He likes working hard. He has it to where he works 6 days a week, and this is getting close to 20 years now at this one place, that he works like 6 days a week, and he doesn't know what to do on his day off because he would just rather go to work. While he's there, there's so many days when he'll even go without stopping to take a break or even for a lunch break, you know what I mean? Like, he himself is the manager of a warehouse, and he just has so much to do, and, it needs to be done, and it needs to be set up for the next day to make it easier on him, and he just really likes working hard and a lot of hours, and, that's just what he does. But yeah, when he comes home, he's sore. And he's tired. He feels good about the day, being that he's worked hard and he's put in an honest day. And I feel bad for him for that. It's not his company. He works for somebody else. And they're rough on him. They know that he works really hard, so they make him work harder because they know he can and they know he will. So many of us are like that. You just can't keep going that way. And you need to know at the end of a day, hour wise, not just for what you need to do, because that can go for months before you even go home and sleep. But at the end of a quote unquote day with hour wise, you should be going home. So many of us are just like, well, let me just do, this, and let me just tidy up here, and let me just, fill out the last bit of paperwork here, and let me just, and they'll just keep going and going and going. And all that really is doing is, in the wise words here, is sharpen a blade too much and its edge will be lost, or it will soon be lost. What he's doing, like so many of us out there, is just working yourself into an early grave. And that's not right. It says, retire when the work is done, and this is the way to heaven, or way of heaven. You'll get more rewards physically. You're able to do more if you just know when to quit. And, like, your day's done. You should have went home hours ago. Go home. Rest. Let your body have rest. You don't need to push yourself harder and longer, and especially if it's not your own company. I mean, it's one thing to kind of let it slip and slide if it's your own company. But if you're doing the work for somebody else, and here it is like 8 o'clock at night, and you've been there for 12 hours, and you've got tons of work you could do, turn around, close the doors, get in your car, and just go home and rest. Allow your body to just have an end to a day. Because really, in the end, what are you going to get out of life by just working a little longer and doing a little more and pushing yourself a little harder? And nothing. I mean, on the one hand, that, like, motivation and climbing a mountain and all that, you just want to push yourself harder. But where are you going to get yourself? To the top of the mountain? Big deal, dude. My nose itches. So you made it to the top of the mountain, figuratively speaking, or literally speaking, What then? What are you going to do with it? But yet you'd have a little more energy if you just say, okay, this is enough for today. I don't need to push myself anymore. So for all of you out there that are just busting your butt, why? You don't need to work as hard as you do. And yet, if you don't, I get it. Everyone's a dime a dozen in today's time. And, if you're making a couple bucks more than somebody else, you're really a dime a dozen, Because they want to get rid of you and they want to stop spending dimes for a dozen. I mean, hello. I think the planet, everyone on it, we're all guilty of it. You just want to be the best you can be, and when you're working, you want to be the best, and ultimately it's for your own greater good. You'll get a raise, or some people don't. Like, if you just work harder, things will get done. It'll just be easier on you, and just why bother? I'm not saying don't work hard. I'm not saying, like, don't put in a full day. But you don't need to work yourself as hard as you do and into an early grave. Because what are you going to do with it after that? You're in a grave. Are you going to get up the next day? No. Well, then what have you, really done? Not much. All you've done is go to work and bust your butt. More often than not, it's for somebody else. Now, like I said, if it's for you and your own company, you want to be the best. You want to stand out. You know what I mean? Like, you want to get it all done. And especially for a small company, you really need to work hard, and pick up extra slack and do the work of 10 men. Where's it going to get you? If you have a company and it's your own, so we're just going to use that right there, your own company. Let's say it's a small company and you have like 10 people working for you. My nose itches. Let's say you have 10 people working for you. They don't need to be working as hard as they do doing the work of 10 men each, you know? You'll get more out of them by not pushing them as hard as you do. They'll feel more productive if they know, okay, it's time to go home. No, put it down. You don't need to do any more. We can just do it tomorrow, dude. Relax. It's the end of the day. You've done enough. Just go home. Be with your family. You'll get more out of people mentally and physically by doing that versus, okay, we're only a company of 10 men. You need to do the work of 100. Think about it. I love you.